you're not comfortable with, but I think it's perfect to talk to you about. And if procedurally there are any changes that you would like to see in regards to the administrator, their receive the information from the staff, they make the decision based on the ordinance, but that decision needs to be brought to the involvement and a special meeting called immediately to deal with it. I would probably say that not having enough water for people using their houses for their children and extended kids that they need, probably worthy of special meeting. So I don't think putting that out there based on how we decided that just want to make sure that whatever process is set up is the right process and everybody's comfortable with it. And that requires us to need action. Have any sense?
So what I heard you doing, I think, agree with you all the time. We're going to work. Did any of them the theory is there are so they want to do this done 8 days and yeah. I think we communicated. Because things are changing rapidly, and people get involved. To answer your question, we're going to meet as often as it takes. In an emergency situation like that, we've been through this before. Luckily, not with water, but with other things. Make sure that we're getting in front of people and finding as much data as possible. You got the region right next to and they use our offer for our model for what we did. I think it'd be a good idea if we make sure that we have contacts in every community or one utilities that pulls out the office, and we make sure that we're posted and reach it. We cannot just individual house. That's a great point. In fact, this all stems from a regional meeting that we had over at Mesa. Their public works director and assistant public works director and their people of it. We had to circle the wagons and what do you want to do? And that's when this really like the phenomenon. We need to do a better job really identifying there. I can't agree with you more. Working with our counterparts and other municipalities. Yes, sir. We will do that. So basically, the way I read this is great and clarify that we have the procedures and the stage that the administrator puts in place is active until such time as it's amended. So any type of penalty or anything that's down to that during that time would be considered valid. review that again. Well, like next page. That would be the foundation of start here, wherever the mayor wants to decide. Then electrical will be that at the end of the process as well, is basically stating for the record, same student no longer, state whatever. You have to do that. These would be that's the ending. This block making is important.
Procedurally, I think you were, I can interpret it, you were maybe, is that doesn't the ordinance actually say how frequently the board meets to be or get together once the emergency has been declared. Very important. The land that needs to be pretty clear. Once that emergency is phase one, and whether that's the change, it doesn't take very much to go from one to two, two to three, especially if it's a situation like COVID. Maybe some maybe lower than that, and then really and even if you have frequently, you know, every week meeting of the board, maybe language that can put into the ordinance about the frequency of communication and the frequency of update to the board in that during the emergency situation, the government department shall provide daily update as to the status of that emergency. Things like that could be put in the ordinance to verify that. If you were saying here, you know, we got here 40 here and there, and we use it, so we get one. Maybe something better. I'm just trying to address the mistake that I have here. Yeah. Here.
You said so long. We would or
Yeah, and perhaps even find some case study and shows what other municipalities have happened to them, show why this is a good approach. I see where you're going. Again, this is a big bite, a big step. So I feel like we're trying to talk about it somewhat at the ultimate retreat, but at the same time, it's a big step. Let's get it right.
yeah, just
The reason, my mind is that this is going to speed up on slowly if it's just a crowd. Now, you're right, your definition of open didn't get in mind, but it's not going to happen. But if we have got a well-known crowd, and you're in a sensitive area, that's going to lower the water pressure, the provide water, and just for pressure and everything else. And we're totally looped in the city. So if we have a major well or two of it here that goes out, it's going to affect all that. Yeah. And somebody needs to be
That's great. Over the last few years together, we've done a lot to mitigate those concerns by making this time and increasing our awareness. So you've heard us preach redundancy. That's just so we don't get into these types of situations. I think it's important.
the only thing I have to say is number one, I think our city attorney will let us know that the organization. Number two, if it does turn out to be the board, I'm definitely, and I don't think anybody else to have an emergency with that.
Where's Josh? I see you going out the door. Really wasn't gonna say anything with that. Discussion was started. First thing that came to mind. We have a question. I read it. Harvard, get off. Washing your vehicles, stay shoe, water your garden, stay water. Based on my mind, yours, nothing. Those are all protecting. Here's my question. Some folks in the summer. You come to fish, garden. Okay, so it's a curious about it. Being in the garden. Washing your clothes, it doesn't matter. Some less fortunate families allow them to whatever brings them. I think we need to look at it. I guess our conversation about how it be just a little bit of data spread. Something that's higher on one or two people short. Like you just mentioned that I feel like when you take the oath of office to be an alderman, you have to come in on the day for a vote on something this important. It shouldn't be that much issue. Okay? He mentioned that he wanted to good, and I can't you all the way the other way. I can imagine a scenario where bottles will quick fall out in a matter of 24 hours. I guess something mechanical is gonna happen. I can imagine one person using that much water that in a 24-hour period of time, they give 10,000, 25,000, and not but all the way together and have a conversation. This, some of you that question about you worry a little bit about how much power to one person. So that I'm built that happen. And that's it. Something that affects the entire town. Work. Those were two more that came up too. And then the other question I had on the business side of it, some of you have brought that up, and I think that should be looked at too. How much water does it tell you? How much water is restaurant using on a daily basis? Those in the restaurant industry, I know how much water the dishwasher uses every time it's up and down. So I think that maybe that needs to be looked at a little bit too, instead of just saying, well, we'll wait till stage 3. They can use times, 10 times the amount of water as an individual that they use because they have 10 people in here. I definitely think that part of it should be looked at too. Just the thoughts that came to mind about watching this presentation. Thank you.
No.
Well, I'm just curious. Does this need to be changed? And I don't know. I mean,
The only thing I'm not sure that I thought exactly what I thought I heard her say was if a pump goes, if the oil pump goes down, one person gallon, and I can't give you the number, but it's several that would be affected on property down. It wouldn't be by one resident. It would be several hundred. I say, I don't know how I'm not going to do it. Bring that.
I was going to Dr. Benny,
It doesn't feel. I actually read it. They didn't want to put it on there. I'll make a motion that we table this. We open till tonight, is this from what kind of time?
I think it is. I think we'll get everything together by the next meeting. Put some case studies together. I have a lot of great comments in there. Great to have different perspectives. But I think we can get right back on top of it. And I don't know if we have time to talk about it at our breakfast meeting, is that where you're going?
And also, there are those, he's got that need to have more imagination. Just from the comments that I heard tonight, these are things to go back to the ordinance and to know what kind of change we are investing on it. And so, related to what I think, we have to be agenda and it could be that's really understanding what we need to take a look at the ordinance, for what we listen. Motion was made by, so, we need to have
The other one, same one. Closer. Nope, not that one.
It's a water. In a lot of we have a water. It pulls up the other reason.
Wow, this is why we put it on the desktop. I think I did too. Water conservation.
So also at the last meeting, I should put this up. The last board retreat, I didn't even talk about your presentation. And he is the executive director, in Southwest Missouri Water. He has been involved in water coalition for years. But he just happened to take over the executive director. Simply tonight, what we're doing, I think Roddy did an amazing job stating the importance of planning when it comes to a long-term water supply. I think he did an amazing job stressing, how much work goes into this and the planning side and the implementation side. This has been a long time. We have been members of Tri-State Water Coalition. We kind of got into it with the game. We did that in 2016. I want to show you this of communities that are members, and it's an impressive list. Our neighbors, it's few of those, also part of the J-Line, and that's really what tonight. We've gone from the planning stage to go to what we call the J-Line stage. Joint municipal. And this authorizes us to make decisions not only on the planning, but it allows us to take it to the next step. I'll show you what the next step is. Right now, the commission here on the water. We're one of the planning states identified. We are right now, 4 engineers have funded the draft the allocation. So we're starting to get where the rubber meets the road. It's gone from conceptual and planning to, right? It's time to look at these things. So basically, all I'm asking is to change our membership from Tri-State Water to the joint municipal, which allows us to really start diving And then please note, this is important to us as well. As big decisions come along, we're going to be this is a huge regional. Thinking it all, understanding the importance of water. This is a reallocation of stock and lane, and those things start to balance of getting around here, that's a jewelry. You're right. That day, those guys got in. Somebody really like you know the last one. Go off on water. Yes, we're gonna be end of the day. But it is securing the water for our future. So this is a simple question for you tonight. Why is it secure the municipal utility commission? And then have my insurance, and that's typical, but all these other municipalities. City administrator. So I'll keep that one short. I know we went through a lot. Any questions about this organization?
All in favor? Adam Brown, 1605 East Ivy Drive. Yep. Well, having been involved, currently in, banking now, but I used to be in construction and, being a citizen, you know, growing up and learning how things are developed and why they're developed. And I think for me, being a native Missourian, I want to see growth. Understanding, you know, the ramifications. You know, not only how is it going to affect us 1 year, 5 years. With our decisions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Motion was made by Alderman Campbell. Alderman Jordan.
A resolution that the Board of Alderman of the City of Riverside, one.
This was the other one. Previous one.
A resolution by the Board of Alderman of the City of
I'm gonna do it from here if that's okay, because I'm driving as well. Currently, we are under, oops, go this way. We are under a maintenance agreement with the Christian County, and we have been for several years. We went out for a grant, I believe in 2018. It was an RTP grant, and we did not get the purchase of the property. Basically, what we were trying to do is we wanted to take this piece of property that's here. We own this little area right here. We own this part. So this is the old road that goes around and used to go across. Well, yeah, this is the new road, and the old road is now the trail. So there's this area right here. It's 6 acres that is owned by the county. It was deeded over to them in April of 2010. They acquired it from FEMA, and it was basically to purchase this new property. So we've been under a maintenance agreement taking care of this property here. We have been trying to get a grant twice. We were just denied the second one maybe a couple months ago. So we want to go ahead and just make this official. The plan was to use this as a match. It is a match. It was a match grant in 80-20. So the county donating the property to us would be part of our match. So we wouldn't have to be out of pocket so much. So we've been trying to go after these grants in order to acquire this property. It's part of the property that we wanted there. It's in our master parks plan. There's a great access if we could get some Blue Way River, like an entrance point. A lot of people use it. And then this could take you all the way to the park. So the intent was that for the grant is we would get a river access right here, possibly some pavilions, a bathroom. And those were the grants that we were going after. Because we haven't gotten them, and there's been kind of a length of time that now has gone by to get that off the county's books. We were looking at possibly just taking ownership of it because we have been under a maintenance agreement. So there are a few little hoops that you have to jump through because it is FEMA property. So the property, basically tonight, you have to accept that we will accept the deed restrictions. And as I go through this, it'll make a little bit more sense. So there are some restrictions on it, and these are basically what they are. It must remain as an open space. So we can't do anything else with it. It must remain a park open space area. Things that we can have there are parks for outdoor recreation. We can have wetland management, nature reserves, cultivation, grazing, camping, unimproved, unpaid parking lots, a buffer zone, and then other uses that are consistent with the FEMA guidelines. Our intent obviously was for parks and recreation. That's what we were kind of going for. So it's inside of that thing. Structures. No new structures or improvements shall be erected on the property other than it can be a public facility that is open on all sides. So it would have to be something that looks like this, like a pavilion where water could get through. So it isn't going to fit. You can put a public restroom. Think like you go to a park, you know, and it's like cinder block sort of bathroom situation. That's kind of what we're talking about here. It's sort of a park and play sort of bathroom situation. The structure has to be compatible with open spaces and it can serve the natural function of the flood. Any of these improvements and anything that we would do would have to go through our floodplain manager here at the City of Ozark, regardless. If anybody built it, we would have to. So another one. Sometimes when the park floods, they'll constitute like we can go to FEMA and say, hey, this flooded, they will give us money for the property. This is saying that cannot happen. You can't ask for it, you can't make an application, asking for federal money. If it floods now, there's nothing there. It's just the staff go clean up the sticks and we pick up the things and we mow and we do the whole thing. So at this time, there's really no issue with anything flooding anyway. The property is not eligible for National Flood Insurance Program for damages to structures on the property. Again, there are no structures on the property. It currently isn't an issue for us. And if we did put structures on the property, it would follow the guideline. Transfer the property. So this is why we're having to do this. We are basically saying we understand that there are deed restrictions as the board. Sorry, I'm using the word we. We are willing to take on these deed restrictions. So basically, we have to tell the county, hey, we are interested in this. The board understands our deed restrictions, and we're going to move forward. We accept them the way that they are. So if we later take this property, we do the same situation. If the Missouri Department of Conservation came forward and was like, hey, we want to purchase this property, we would have to have the exact same thing to be able to transfer. It's just a regulation suggesting that we understand that there are deed restrictions and these are what they are. These are a little other things. You can transfer to a public entity or a conservation organization, and you can do easements for private individuals, but it all has to match that open space, no building structure, none of the stuff. That is not our intent. Our intent is to take the piece of property, continue to mow it. When we move forward with the parks plan, it would be nice when we have funding to be able to start working towards that. But at this time, there's no funding for it. We'll continue to look for grants. Was that one? Okay, inspection. Another thing is that FEMA has the right to come and do an inspection on the property. Doesn't seem to be an issue for us. They can drive down there at any time. They just have to have a reasonable notice, and then we have to comply. Monitoring and reporting every 2 years, we will submit through the state FEMA that we have inspected the property and it matches the requirements that they're suggesting that we have to do. So we are committing to doing that. Enforcement. If we are out of compliance, we have 60 days to correct the violation. And these are basically the things that can happen to you. They could sue you for not doing what you're supposed to do. You are required to, they won't give you any awards. I don't really see it being an issue because again, it's just open land property. We're not doing anything with it right now. And even if we did, it would be very minimal and access to the river. So it's really not going to cause an issue with flooding or FEMA. So. Again, the piece of property that we're talking about is under a agreement right now where we maintain it. This again is not saying that we are going to purchase the property. This is only saying we understand that there are deed restrictions so that we can apply to have them possibly transferred. It will come back to you as Bill saying, hey, take ownership of this property. Right now, you are acknowledging that on this property forward. Does that sort of make sense? What you are accepting tonight, the resolution, if this vote goes through, it is saying to the county, we understand and we accept the deed restrictions that I just listed. As you will then have to bring back another ordinance that suggests that it can be purchased, given, donated, X, Y, Z of whatever that is. This is step one in acquiring the piece of property. We understand the deed restrictions and we are willing to move forward with the property, accepting them. No, sir. Thank you. It is. So right now where people are going in is basically right here where my little cursor is. At least that's how I get in the water. You basically park here, you just do a little trek, you go under the bridge, and then there's sort of like a little step down area right here. And that's how you sort of get into the water. When we applied for the grant, the best I can say is that we had planned on doing essentially a trail where people could walk, and then there would be some sort of ramp access right here, similar to what we've got at the park, where you would be able to walk down and then access it, that way. And it would be the most convenient spot would be somewhere right in here. So that's kind of the thought process. We're looking at what that would look like for. That was part of what we had talked about, was looking into what that requirements were. We would like to go for a grant, so we'll have to follow not only the grant requirements, but also the FEMA requirements. It doesn't really say that you can't do any dirt work per se in your deed restrictions. It just says like you can't make a paved parking lot and a few things like that. So we just have to look into those details of how it's being funded for the grant.
Just my opinion on the city potentially acquiring the property is. Obviously, anytime you take in public space, it creates more workload for recyclers. We're down there some, not a whole lot, but to me, anytime you can structure or structure is not the right word, but anytime you can organize that open public space with what would appear to be prescribed uses, meaning this is your parking area, this is your trail, this is your access point. Anytime you can organize that helps us a little bit. Right now there's a very unorganized process. Even though the city maintains it with the county and things like that, people are parking. There's no real prescribed use for that area. So we are down there some, but it is not an overbearing area for us or anything like that. One of the concerns that would come to mind would be open container policy that we would have to deal with if it was for that prescribed use of the floating and things like that. But that's something that we would deal with, very similar to what we deal with right now in the River Park and things like that.
Or if I understand correctly, it was already. Yeah. Point.
Resolution by the board of
Yes, I can repeat that. Here, yeah, no rule out this and me or that I were. We were. The 3 days to that and work district and to be a part of during the free offer training and things of that nature to your historic or to become knowledgeable about those matters, buildings, signage.
in order to produce in the proper. Utilize the process. I think. Alderman Gardner. Alderman Vaughn. Alderman Albert. Okay, an ordinance of Lorraine County that offer energy. Alderman Campbell.
Aye.
Alderman Gardner. Alderman Gallery. Alderman Becker. Mr. Cohen. We have 5 ayes.
Previous owners of previous, the owners. They have decided that they probably won't be for the future on the square, by standing the same. With the developer, and as the conditions of the building, that located. We have visited with them just very briefly on what that might look like. They have sought some information about survey points and corners and so forth to downtown. You pretty high in that area right there. A lot of utilities in that area, and they're very excited though that somebody that is be great. Situation with the owners, they've been very, with them, to work with, and those folks, they wonder, we don't believe it's going to be on to be.
Mr. Campbell, we're having a little bit of technical difficulty, so I do not think that you would like to have feedback right this moment. So would you please not ask for feedback right now? But next time, please.
That is true. Going on. And that is an area. Like, next is.